I'm Mayra. I'm a master's student and a media critic / writer.
And hi, I'm Alexia. I'm an arts and sciences undergrad and a multimedia content creator and critic. And this is UCL POP!
We're gonna start off with some films to watch out for, as well as some film and music news in general. So starting off, Alexia, tell us a little bit about a movie you've watched recently.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite films. It technically came out on the 26th of Jan, but I've seen it back in September at LFF. This is All of Us Strangers. It swept the BFAs, and soon enough, from the comfort of your preferred cinema or home, it will make you weep like a newborn. It's a visual therapy session for everyone having unresolved family troubles. For reference, it's kind of Celine Sciamma's coming-of-age sci-fi hybrid Petite Maman, which came out in 2021, but for the old, sad queers that roam nightclubs in search for love. Also, the soundtrack is iconic. It features needle drops as Blur's Death of a Party, which has been my Spotify playlist for the past 3 months, and also my Wrapped, so there you go. I think it's gonna be in yours as well if you didn't know the song before. We also have Paul Mescal, who's kind of this golden retriever character, but I suggest bringing napkins for the film. This time you'll actually need them. Our next film that we're gonna talk about, which has been on everyone's mind, is Saltburn. Everyone is lusting over Jacob Elordi. I don't get the craze, but
Me neither.
there's a running demand for candles of his special scent. Even greater than the Stanley Cup craze that's now going on in the US. But what people forget is that Gwyneth Paltrow did it first. Do any of us remember the Goop "This Smells Like My Orgasm" novelty? Well, now I'm not one to speak on it because I did get a "This Smells Like Hairstyles" candle for Christmas, which I may or may not have added to my wish list. But what I can assure you is that the celebrity scent market is booming, and it comes with a heightened allegory of tastes and senses.
Nice. Well, watch out for Saltburn and All of Us Strangers. Definitely check those movies out. I, on the other hand, watched a really incredibly bad movie. I watched Mean Girls 2 weeks ago on opening night, and it's basically a reboot of the original with songs. It's something I call like the Lin-Manuel Mirandification of the movie industry, where a lot of musical movies just have like music video sequences, which, you know, doesn't hamper the pace at all, I think. And it's quite unnecessary. However, it is an adaptation of the musical, based on the movie, based on the musical, based on a movie, based on musical. It looks quite cheap, miscast, especially when it comes to Katie Heron, and it kind of misses the point of meanness in the digital age with the abundance of TikTok. Please stop using TikTok in movies, thank you. So many parts of the film felt like they were trying to like be like cool with the kids these days, with a hard to watch segment where they try to make a TikTok dance in the hopes that it will like pick up in real life. It's just really hard to watch, and it also feels quite disingenuous. In all honesty though, Renee Rapp kills it, and I'm really excited to see where her film career goes on from here. Her take on Regina George is fun and feels like she gets the assignment. However, the other plastics just feel like carbon copies, with the exception of Damien and Janice. Other than that, it's really the inferior reboot and does not feel relevant to the times or poignant at all. I would say it's like a 2 out of 5, maybe 1 out of 5, like 1.7 out of 5 out of 5 if we're feeling generous today. So yeah, that's what I thought about this incredibly beautiful movie.
Oh, and now we got some letterbox reviews
Yeah.
that I found interesting.
Yeah. So Laura Palmer says about Mean Girls 2024, "I work hard, but the Samsung Galaxy flip phone works harder for these promotional ads," which I loved. So much promotional ads. So many promotional ads in this movie. And Dylan Troskin says, "Stop using TikTok in movies. Stop using TikTok in movies," like 20 times. I love it. I agree. Fully. Next up, we're going to invite a very special guest to talk about a very special movie. So, drum roll.
Hi, my name is Aryan. I'm a third-year undergrad anthropology student, and I'm a critic for the UCL Film and TV Society Journal, White Lies and Sensitive Cinema, amongst others. The film I'm going to be talking about today is a film that received no Oscar nominations whatsoever. the new film in the first in a decade by the prolific American director Michael Mann. Ferrari is a film he's been trying to make for almost 30 years, first conceived of in the 90s with Sidney Pollack to produce, and it's a film that has gone through multiple castings up until it reached this iteration, with Adam Driver playing the iconic automobile magnate Enzo Ferrari and Penelope Cruz playing his wife Laura Ferrari. The film is a rip-roaring biopic that abandons the conceit of the quote-unquote Oscar bait biopic by situating itself within a few weeks of Enzo's life in 1957, right before the Mille race and the fatal crash that brought that race to an end. The film, beyond of course being a film that would appeal to anyone who's been a man obsessive such as myself, is also a film that stirs a great deal of emotional verisimilitude in the fact that it doesn't try to oversimplify or doesn't try to reduce the complicated lives of its characters.
Nice.
That's a perfect segue into our next film, which was nominated for an Oscar.
Yeah. So I went to watch The Holdovers last week, and I was really impressed. Like, I was looking for a feel-good movie, and I think this film delivered. It's this genre of like anti-Christmas Christmas movie that I quite love. I personally felt it was just perfect for the Christmas season, and I feel like I'll revisit it like every single year. It just feels like a cult classic. It's about a teacher, a student, and a cook who have to stay at prep school over the December holidays because they have nowhere to go to or just no one to go to. The concept is quite sad, but I feel like the film really delivers on that sad, comforting, happy vibe that just feels like a warm hug. I love it. It's also quite funny at times, especially with the interactions between the harsh teacher and the rebellious personality of the student, who by the end have a sort of family dynamic with Mary, who has recently lost her son. The dialogue in the film is especially sharp and funny without feeling pretentious, which can be quite difficult. The film as well is set in the 70s with the color grading being absolutely gorgeous. It's just beautiful. Definitely a recommend. Go and watch it. Oscar nominations were just announced last week, and it seems like Oppenheimer is in the lead with 13 nominations, followed closely by Poor Things with 11 and Killers of the Flower Moon with 10 nominations. While Barbie has 8 nominations, Margot Robbie was not given a nomination for lead actress. Greta Gerwig was also not nominated for Best Directing. Many said that they were snubbed, something acknowledged by Ryan Gosling, who was nominated for Best Supporting Actor. Lily Gladstone is nominated for Best Actress, making her the first ever actress of Native American origin in the category. And this year, Scorsese is now officially a director that has been nominated the most times ever in the Oscars, and the first Letterboxd user to get nominated, as a little fun fact. It is arguable that there is much more variety this year. Nominated films in the Best Picture category have to meet inclusion and representation standards for the first time in Academy Award history. Now, let's talk about some Oscar predictions. What do you guys think? Who's gonna win Best Picture?
Well, going by the Academy's tendency to award directors for having not awarded them in the past or not based on the film's actual merit, I'm assuming it's going to be Oppenheimer.
I agree.
I'm also going for Oppenheimer, so it's a 3x3.
Slay.
Now next, we have Best Actor, where we get Bradley Cooper, which is the best director and actor of our generation. I didn't say that for a record. I heard someone say that. I thought it was a great introduction. Okay, then we got Common Domingo with Reston, Paul Giamatti with The Holdovers, Cillian Murphy with Oppenheimer, and Jeffrey Wright with American Fiction. I think this is also a 3x3 with Cillian.
Yeah. No question, I think.
Unless, of course, the Oscars decide to award Paul Giamatti for yet another career Oscar for something they should have given him years ago.
We got a 2x3. Next we got Best Actress.
I think Lily Gladstone is gonna win. I just think it would be like a historic win. But what do you guys think?
Well, I think it's Lily Gladstone by a pretty solid margin, but of course, since the Oscar has a tendency to award the most over-dramatized performance, it might as well be Emma Stone in Poor Things.
Then we got Best Supporting Actor. That's okay. That's very on brand for UCL Pop, where everything pops off. Next up, we got Best Supporting Actor.
I think Ryan Gosling's gonna win.
once again, because the Oscars should have given him the award years ago, I think it's going to be Robert Downey Jr. by a pretty solid amount.
I'm gonna go with apparently the only important person in Barbie based on the Academy Award. Let's say Ryan Gosling. So it's again a 2x3. Although I do tend to go with, I think Aryan might be right. So we're waiting for the approval. Then we got Best Director.
What do you think?
Well, once again, I think it might as well be a 3x3, considering that the Academy, my bad, loves to reward directors for awards they should have given out years ago, and once again, Christopher Nolan might as well get a career award for the last 4 films they just decided not to nominate for.
It's our UCL alum. Watching Oppenheimer. I didn't do the Barbenheimer. I just watched Barbie when it came out, and then I watched Oppenheimer months later.
Oh.
And I realized, how can people watch these 2 films and then still say Barbie's better? Like, there's no way. Let's go for Best Original Song.
Well, seeing as I've only heard one of these and I don't actually recall Killers of Flower Moon actually having a title song of any sort, I'm going to say it's going to be either of the 2 songs he's nominated for Barbie, which once again is a film that for whatever reason got 8 nominations but is still being complained about for not getting all of them.
I think it's gonna be like I'm Just Ken or What Was I Made For. I agree.
I'm going for What Was I Made For. People love Billie Eilish. And so do I. I don't know if you do. So I just said I do.
She's good.
But next we go to the Grammys 2024. They're happening on the 5th of Feb. But the nominations have been out for a while, so we're going to go really quickly through them. Record of the Year. A lot of people say Kill Bill by SZA. Now, personally, I think What Was I Made For was huge, so I would go for that.
I'm going to say it's going to be Taylor Swift in the latest entry of what I can only describe as PSYOP by the Biden administration to elevate Miss Swift to Queen Matriarch of the United States of America.
Did you see the article that she's the main character of the world? She kind of is.
There's a reason the Chiefs won the other night. It wasn't because they're a good team.
Album of the Year, which personally I would give it to Lana. I want Did You Know That There's a Tunnel Under Ocean Boulevard to win. But then again, honestly, I feel it could go to The Record by Boy Genius.
Yeah, I think they're gonna give it to Boy Genius, but like I really want Lana to win. I just feel like Grammys have done her historically they have done her dirty.
Then we got Song of the Year. I think I would go, maybe like who I think would win would be maybe Antihero, but I was obsessed with A&W and I still think it's an amazing song. It's literally 8 minutes long.
I think Antihero will win. As I mentioned before, I think the Grammys love Taylor Swift.
I have no choice but to agree, except to also point out that a song from Barbie has been nominated, considering that the Grammy juries are just as didactic as the Academy, that might as well go to the Billie Eilish song.
And now moving on, the Brit Awards were just announced, and Ray is in the lead with 7 nominations, being the first artist in history to have that many nominations in 1 year. Her nominations include Best Pop Act, Best R&B Act, and Best New Artist. Central C and J Hus are also up for awards, mainly of British fame. Dua Lipa is also up for 3 nominations, and she is the first artist confirmed to perform at the awards show. 55% of the nominations are women, following accusations that the Brit Awards were not very inclusive before. International Artist of the Year is a very interesting category for me, at least, because you've got Lana Del Rey running against Taylor Swift, running against Caroline Polachek, which is quite interesting. It makes it feels odd, but I'm rooting for Caroline, though. I love her.
But it's not really fair. Like, you can't put
Yeah.
Taylor Swift and all these people who are majorly in different leagues.
Yeah.
Do I think it's fair to pair everyone else against an agent of the United States government? No, I don't. But out of the nominees that are there, I'm going to agree on the Polachek album being the best.
And for International Group of the Year, I think it's pretty obvious that Boy Genius is going to win because they're running against like Blink-182 and Paramore, so there's like an obvious...
I mean, there is a comeback. There is a comeback moment, but Boy Genius are the boys of the world. And now we got some new music coming out. We got the Yes and Controversy by
Yours truly, Ariana Grande.
That's true. Yeah. Ariana Grande, so she has a new song out. There's been this controversy with the whole cheating scandal and stealing people's husbands.
Yeah.
Now, the song pops off, which is great because this is our segment. I don't know if I agree completely with the controversy, but again, sometimes we could separate the art from the artist. Is that true, Aryan?
Separating the art from the artist? Yes and no.
Okay.
I don't know. I feel like she's like trying to yassify infidelity, which is really weird.
So yes and. Is it a slay or is it a nay?
Nay.
Nay.
I'll go with the slay.
Outvoted.
Next up, we got Tom Odell just put out a new record, Black Friday, his 6th album. It's his 2nd independent album, and it's going great. After the Another Love Song, which was everywhere since it came out, Black Friday is actually making a resurgence. It's a really great song. You should check it out. We also have Marika Hackman, which put out her latest album, Big Sigh. It's a great acoustic indie record, which Aryan gets a lot of ads for. Is that true, Aryan?
Yes, ever since you told me about them, I can't scroll a minute through Instagram without seeing her pop up. Anyways, it's none of my business.
But yes, you should check her album out. It's her latest album. It took her 4 years to write it. Her latest album was the covers album during the pandemic. So yes, Big Sigh. And next up we got
Green Day. So I listened to Saviors, which is their new album, came out on the 19th of Jan, and it's a pop punk 2000s revival, and I quite like it. First one since the last crappy album in 2020, according to Alexia. I didn't even listen to it. I didn't even know it existed, so that says a lot about its existence in the world, but this one is pretty good. TikTok and Taxes is an actual lyric in the opening track. The American Dream is killing me, and it works somehow. And I feel like it's just so fitting that they release an album in times of like widespread disillusionment, considering that also was the case the last time they released their masterpiece. And I don't know, I like it. It's quite fun.
Wait, so is that a play on death and taxes? Has TikTok replaced death?
Yeah, maybe.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's very deep.
I feel like that concludes our segment today. So yeah, this has been UCL POP!
Check it out next time to see what's popping in the world.
Cut.
Rolling. Sound rolling.